All right, guys, we are back for our second semifinal match today between changeopening, who's the defending champ, versus SupWitches, who hasn't played in this tournament the past few years, but had previously and done really well. So we're getting ready here for a monster match.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this match is just going to be fireworks again. You have the defending champion, Flo, who's been one of the best players, one of the probably, if not the most consistent player in the past couple of years. He won last year. He was in candidates the year before, and SupWitches is as you said, a veteran player. He ended up fourth in the 2018 World Championship, so the first one on the chess, and now he's back in the top four again. And hopefully, maybe he can improve this time.
Yeah, and I'm excited to watch. Like as I mentioned, as the last match was ended, which was also a crazy match where it went all the way to Armageddon, um, and Kex ended up winning by flag, which felt a little bit. I felt bad for Devanch in that spot, but those were the
Yeah, I
rules that
mean,
were set
Devon
up.
played great in chess. He was really good throughout the match, and I mean, he was in the driver's seat. I mean, he has always been the one ahead in score, and Kex was always a bit behind. But it was like Devon was ahead, and Kex tied it up, and then Devon again, and kind of feels harsh on him to lose like that, especially as apparently he didn't know that he didn't have increment for the Armageddon game.
All right, we are at the bottom of the hour. Looks like the games are starting. I'm trying
And
to jump in here. Um, we've got
absolutely, and
change opening
change opening.
starting as white.
Oh, that's actually crazy. If you look at the leaderboard, at the scorecard between the two of them, like Change Opening has not lost a single one of their best 20 games.
Yeah,
He won
there's
or drew
quite a
all
few
of them.
draws in there too. That is kind of an interesting stat to see. So E3 from Flow. We're gonna get the Polish from Sup, which is both players moving quick. Like they've prepared for this line.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna see knight e6 by SupWitches, which is the I would say standard move, and then d4. So now Black has two options in this line. Black can go for queen to c7 and start to race, or Black can move the g pawn, and so Black goes for g6.
I want to say I feel like this happened last year. Flo played Tugger in his semifinal match, and I felt like we saw this line a couple times. And Flo plays it pretty well. So as you see, like he's throwing out these moves real fast. Both players are. So Flo's going up to 3 minutes on his clock. But I
Yeah,
still
I
think
think I actually studied this line for Devanch when we played last year in the candidates tournament. So I think here the right move is g5, and then bishop takes, and then for black, bishop b7.
I should see king. Yeah, the king move away, and then the knight goes back. So this is a fairly even kind of matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the opening that Flo chose against c5 is very strong, but if black is able to defend well, like he did, it's quite even. So I don't feel like white has a big edge.
So threatening a capture chain um, at some point here. but he doesn't have like a follow-on move to get mate, so he's not gonna ditch the queen quite yet. I think that might be mate. Yeah, the rook here. I've seen that before. And
I think just G4.
yeah, the good thing about SupWitches though is that he's played like uh, every single game. He plays something different, so we're gonna see something different from him coming the next game. All right, so
And
Flo
nice,
takes
yes, no start with Flo there.
the early lead, and we're gonna see the Polish out of him.
And I see, pretty uncommon there, Bishop C4. So I think SupWitches wants to get Flo out of his comfort zone.
And I'm pretty sure that that's the engine move right there too for Flo. So he's got this line memorized a few moves in anyways. Well, if it's Flo,
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's
probably
definitely yes.
15 to 20 moves memorized. So SupWitches has these doubled pawns, but I think maybe sitting like this, he's still okay.
But I feel like it was a bit strange because when he played Bishop C4 and Flo entered with G5, a Bishop take, Queen takes, it took a lot of time to think. So maybe he wasn't expecting D5. I don't know.
That's interesting. So do we see like the knights? He's going to push the pawn and capture with the king. So now the queen's open on the d file. But Flo, I mean, maybe he dumps his knight and just trades it back. Yeah. Like he didn't want to just, he's not going to get rid of his king. So
Yeah, and after that, if you don't do anything, you have like a queen. You would have Queen A4, which would be strong for white.
So SupWitches develops his knight. Might see Flo do the same and develop his knight. Although I don't know if that really accomplishes too much. So he just slides his king over. We're pushing the knight back. SupWitches is gonna bring his knight to the other side of the board.
Yeah, I think we might see knight to G3.
Yeah, it kind of G3 seems like that's coming next. I was kind of thinking that you might end up with the king on D6 and then the knight over onto E7, maybe.
That's possible.
Well, he's deciding to get rid of the bishop. Which is there a single
Yeah, I don't
intermediate
think.
would work, but I don't see one.
Yeah, I don't think there's one.
No, because all of the open pieces are covered. That's covered and that's covered.
But I mean, SupWitches can go for maybe Bishop to A3, and it would, he would lose his bishop as well.
Yeah, I think that might be a good option so that he's out of the bishop, unless he's thinking that he wants to keep the bishop for... So he's going to get rid of his rook instead. That's interesting, keeping the bishop over the rook. But captures back with the knight.
That's pretty cool,
Yes, that's
actually.
very cool. That's very good. He's threatening on F5. Flo can't really push because then you've got a capture chain set up, which I don't know if if one of those two squares, I mean, he's still got the doubled pawns on the H file that he needs to figure a way to get rid of, but I think that's the right play from Flo. And so now we've got an end game where Flo has two rooks.
Yeah.
And
You've got a
SupWitches has
threat
the
of rook d1 for white.
yeah, and SupWitches has the doubled pawn. So I think Black's a little bit ahead in this position. He's got to keep an eye to make sure that his rooks aren't doubled.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about pushing that pawn. I don't think leaving it there wasn't going to be a threat, but Flo's got a little bit of a time advantage. He's going to press the issue.
Yeah, nice move by Flo there, just undoubling the rooks, enabling him to move his knight again. And yeah, we see knight f6.
Flo's playing pretty quick here too. I like that. He's keeping that time advantage, keeping the pressure. Like more clock is being lost by SupWitches.
Yeah, and I actually just like love like his style in the end games because like this position seems kind of like passive and like there's not that much to do, and he just always creates like something out of nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like find him like so like his moves are just so fluid in the end game.
SupWitches down to his last 10 seconds. I mean, probably just another king move from Flo. So again, taking more space and running out of time here. I don't imagine you see the knight go back. He's got to move. He moves the king instead. So Flo taking a little bit of time here.
Well,
He's trying
Flo
to find
can
a
have a capture chain.
Yeah, he's got the capture chain set up. So he's trying to make sure that he can get mate. So he's going to get the extra move. I think SupWitches sees the capture chain and realizes he has to release that pawn over there so that there's...
I think it's still one for Flo now. Because he has like rook c8 after oh yeah, my bad, sorry.
All right, so now SupWitch is actually up on time. So Flo goes for the capture chain. He's looking to see if he can get mate. That looks like that probably does it.
I'm not sure
Maybe
about
not.
that because he's got to give up the B3 pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is that? Oh yeah, and the F2 pawn here as well. Well, nice defense there by SupWitches.
Yeah, I mean, Flo had definitely had the better position there, but got low on time and kind of had to like pick real quick what he was gonna do. See another king promotion. Hmm. Like this rook, like he's threatening to go to h1. So now another king promotion.
Um,
Although that's probably
yeah, I think I don't know what.
it kind of feels drawish, but SupWitches has really low time, so he's got to.
I think he's got to give up the rook.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then push the pawn forward. Then you rook e8. Push the pawn. And here he's got to be careful not promoting to rook.
Right. I mean, you might see a bishop promotion or the rook coming back.
Yeah, just rook e1 maybe. Or bishop.
Okay.
Alright, so the question now is this winning for white?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a good move by. If the king's in the corner, um, white can win this, but I know for me in this position, like I can never do it.
No, now it's a draw. Yeah.
yeah. Flo's doing a good job of avoiding the mate. All right, so 1.5 to 1/2. That's the same way Kex and Devanch's game started. And we're doing this exact same opening as the first game. Last time SupWitches went with e6. Now he's stopping to think to see if there's another line that might work.
Yeah, now black has to play rook takes f2, I think.
All right, so officially making this a queen race.
Yeah, bring on the mamas. Oh, nice move there.
So
Yeah,
stops the
beautiful
queen.
queen takes it.
Yep, stops the queen race and says, "Let's do an endgame with this," which I don't like either position for an endgame. Like both of them kind of got pawns grouped in three different groups. Um, so developing pieces at the moment. F6 is still double covered. I think SupWitches is trying to see if there's a way for him to keep his knight.
I don't think there is.
I mean, he can just capture back with his pawn when if the queen goes to f6, but so d4's got all kinds of pieces attacking it. I think Flo's trying to look to see if he can just push e4. I don't think that does anything for him. He does have the time advantage, though, so he's got 2 minutes to see what his best choice is.
Yeah, I don't really feel like he should give the queen.
Yeah, I think Flo just holds his queen, but then at the same time, SupWitches then holds his knight and his pawn on that in those spaces. Although that kind of leaves that corner undeveloped, so he does push the e pawn.
That's surprising.
So now you kind of got threat. So now he needs to move the queen. The queen needs to move. Like maybe it comes back to e2. That seems dangerous. And coming forward, yeah. So and there's no intermediates for white.
Yeah. So probably we're gonna see h6.
Which SupWitches doesn't want to give up his knight and double his pawns, but it doesn't look like he has a choice. And he's down to 10 seconds now, so like I don't think that's going to be good. So he offers to keep this, but then yeah, Flo just still takes the knight. Well, that's better than having your pawns doubled, so I mean if he does the capture chain, g4.
Yeah, this just looks good for white.
Yeah, the thing is, white can get rid of those three pieces at the back pretty easily, and then both of his pawns are
Yeah.
locked in. So SupWitches would have to dump his rook in order to release them, and then it's just over. So yeah, Flo probably could have gotten rid of his rook a step before, but this still accomplishes the same thing. Like, So he's threatening me. He has to get rid of the rook now, but can get rid of the rook and then. All right, so he's gonna cover that space. I guess Flo could do that. E6 and then push B7 and then push that up. I don't. That's a smarter choice. Way smarter.
Yeah, I love rook c7.
Yeah, because now.
And yeah, I mean, black can promote rook, but so can white.
Yeah.
So I am black just resigns.
All right.
Okay, so Flo extends his lead there, 2.5 to 0.5.
So slightly different opening from SupWitches, but Flo there again moving quickly. G4 is double covered, releases the H or the rook on the H file.
It's very strange, but sometimes SupWitches is thinking on like move 5 or move 6. It's like almost as if like he plays different lines, and then he doesn't know what he's doing. Like it seems like he didn't prep or something as much as Flo did.
So sometimes I like to have the knight sitting in front of the rook, which leaves for some interesting discovered attacks, but not when your opponent also has a pawn on the G file and can basically threaten to grab that knight and cause problems. Like if this wasn't here, then that's kind of a fun position to be in. I mean, you can push here, cover it that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like you don't want to, you. It's cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to add. It's good to have the knight there, but not when there's a pawn on the G file. And
And
does Flo have a captured queen here after D3 and King E2?
well, that's what I was wondering too. That no, because the F1's covered by the knight and the rook both.
But D1 is not.
D1's not. Okay. I was just going to say, but a knight promotion on D1 is safe. But now that that bishop's gone, maybe the
And
D1 promotion is
is
safe.
bishop promotion safe?
Bishop, he's got G4 with his knight. Attacking with the knight's not going to be good because that's got a lot of kills. So I don't. Yeah, bishop's not going to work. I don't think. I think just G4 with the knight. No, because then he can come here and there's not a follow on because that piece is covered. So maybe you do G4 with the pawn first, and then you can run the knight. Or
Yeah, I think so. G4 is the best. And that's what everybody in the chat's saying.
so Flo's got to see. The bishop seems like an easy win. So I feel like you capture with the bishop first, but then your knight's going to be set up for multiple kills in a row, and he can grab the other knight as well. So SupWitches should be able to clean this.
Yeah, I think it shouldn't be a very big issue. That's just strange. For some reason, I thought Flo was the one playing white. I think I'm just like too
Oh,
used to seeing
Right.
Him win.
Yeah, I have that problem, especially when I'm flipping the board to watch just from White's perspective over and over again. All right, so uh, yeah,
Just rook g1.
D O.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that still works because the knight. Um,
Oh yeah, because there's the knight. My
yeah.
bad. Okay.
All right, 2.5 to 1.5. Is the next game not
I
starting?
don't know. I don't see any rematch. Is either player calling a break?
I mean, the offer was sent. We see rematch or breaks in the games, but usually it's at the halfway point. Does feel a little bit early for a break. Again, that's me not knowing the rules. If you're allowed to, I mean, you get one 10-minute break, so I guess you can call it
Yep.
at any point. Yep, Flo confirms we got a
One
break.
turn break. Yeah, so maybe, Flo is not comfortable with his line as black, his bishop e5 line, and, he just wanted to study this a bit.
Maybe I was trying to decide who called that break. Like Flo was looking pretty good, um, and it was just it looked like maybe one mistake in that game that cost him. But um, I was kind of wondering if SupWitches is calling the break to come up with what he's gonna do as black because his black hasn't been working.
Hmm. I mean, even in game one, it's his first game as black, he drew, but Flo is still dominating.
So we've seen the Polish. It's been E3 C5 every game so far, right?
Yes, absolutely. 3c5 every single game.
Apparently, I'm having some internet problems. My internet's going in and out for some stupid reason.
Oh,
Which luckily we're on break, so
all right. So let's hope we can get that fixed. So,
there's nobody else in my house right now, so I should have the bandwidth on my Wi-Fi. Sometimes I've got multiple kids on devices or watching streaming stuff, so that can
oh,
impact it,
then maybe the case.
but not today. All right, so when we come back, Flow should be white.
SupWitches playing 1+0 with Tiger.
What's that?
What? SupWitches is playing 1+0 with Tiger during the break.
That is hilarious. He's like, I'm not studying anything. I'm here to play.
Yeah, I think it's definitely Flo that called the break.
Yeah, obviously. SupWitches is just loosening up a little bit.
I think it's the first time I've ever seen such a thing.
Right? Yeah, definitely the first time. I love it. Nice little moves by Tugger there.
All right, and they're probably gonna get back at it.
Yeah, except 10 minutes is always really long in this break. Like it feels like it's 30 minutes, even though it's only 10.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And we know that Flo does the cigarette breaks. So, so
Okay, now he's playing bullet chess.
yeah,
My God, this guy is crazy.
great speed.
I didn't know he was that good at regular chess. He's 2,500. Wow.
Yeah, more than good. I mean, his opponent's amazing here too. So
Yeah, he's absolutely crushing him. Yeah.
whew.
He's giving him the rematch.
All right, hold on. Now we got the actual anti-chess match. We're back, guys. Change opening. Plays e3. So are we going to see c5 or do we get something different? Um,
Maybe e6. He's played e6 a couple of times, but yeah, he's gonna go for this.
so this is different, right? Like he brought out his queen. I don't think he did this last time.
He did this in game three. First, he played g6, and then he did the queen c7.
Yep, you're right. Okay. And then it turned into the official queen race.
Yes, he absolutely did.
Yeah, and then Flo stopped the race by bringing his queen back down, and then had a. Yeah, it does seem like Flo knows this race very well.
Yeah, I mean, this race is just easy, kind of easy to play as white. I mean, I started just opening myself as white a bit, and there's just like never many good options there for black. And I think if you study like probably 20 to 30 moves deep, he's probably winning for white, I think, in every case.
curious of what Flo was studying that last game. I think we'll find out next game.
Yeah,
Although,
we will.
although again, like SupWitches tends to mix it up, so maybe
Yeah,
they.
we'll see. I mean, he's sticking to c5 as black, so
Don't think Flo can't take the bishop, right? Like that's not an option. I don't, or is it?
mm, no, I don't think he can.
So I'm not sure what he's thinking about here, unless he thinks that
But
he
yeah,
can.
I think he can. I think he can take the bishop.
Can he?
Well, because then you've got to move the knight. But if you move to knight h6, the f5 pawn is covered.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So he does take the bishop. H6 covers the f5 pawn. Yeah, and so now Flo has the material advantage here. Although,
Yeah.
again, we've got pawns spread out all over the place. Flo seems to play these endgames really well, though.
I mean, yeah, this is absolutely crushing there for white.
Here's a comment in the chat. Is Flo's name change opening ironic since he never changes his opening?
Yeah, I think he even had like one account strange openings, not even change opening.
Yeah, I do
I haven't
remember.
seen him play like anything strange almost ever. Like,
Yeah. And also, Finns is pointing out, because somebody said that, commented on that Flo knows this queen race really well. And Finns points out, is there any race that Flo doesn't know well? Which is also another good point. Although, we'll say in the opening round, uh, Chess Demon and Flo got in a few queen races, and I feel like Chess Demon won almost every single one of the races.
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, Flo is not the best queen racer. I mean, this one is like very theoretical and not that hard to learn. But if you go to like non-theoretical queen races, like just like out of pure calculation, I don't know. I feel like some players like Kex or like God of Syndrome or like, some of them are very very good at
Mm-hmm.
this. Right, and Rook A2 trying to force the rook trade. Wow, well done by SupWitches there.
Yeah, Flo's got the time advantage here as well, and the material advantage. I mean, SupWitches can keep pushing these pawns in the middle, but ultimately nothing's going to come from that.
Are we gonna see? Um, I don't know. Maybe G3 would be the best. B6. So yeah, he's just taking 2 pawns versus one.
Yeah.
And advantage is that he can push to A5 and then A6, and then like he's gonna be the first to promote. So
I was thinking Oh, huh.
Oh, nice. Yeah, as Finn said, I think Black didn't play the best he could have played, but I mean, White, sorry, did not play the best possible, but I think he's still good for Whites.
I don't know. Can Black should promote to a rook, I think, and then maybe kill the the e pawn, like as it's coming down to promote. Like, do you just
Yeah, of course.
come back up to d8? Like, you're gonna have your b pawn's got to march so far. So it's really this pawn in the end that's going to be the problematic one. So he stops the rook promotion, but Flo can just push that g pawn. So now the rook promotion is safe. Five seconds. Takes the rook.
Yeah, no, this pawn is terrible for Black.
Yeah. It's a good move. I think that was the only kind of, not that it's a safe move, but it's the only like move that's holding. Oh wait, no, that's still okay. I was like, wait, can he? I've got the directions that the pawns are going mixed
Wait,
up.
what?
So threatening.
I thought he was gonna play a7 there.
I mean, I think Flo can dump the rooks and just push the pawn, right? Like that's not changing anything. So bishop still wins.
Yeah, okay, nice one. I don't know why I just messed up Black and White again.
All right, 3.5 to 1.5.
And Flo is back to +2. So he's got a good lead there.
All right, and again. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of surprised to see these queen races. I did not expect them.
I mean, SupWitches is pretty good with queen races. And I think it's probably like when you play against Flo, one of your best way to win.
Sure, yeah. I'm familiar with that.
I mean, you don't have many ways to win when you play Flo, so
Mm-mm.
you've got to find something, right?
And Flo really is gonna keep this all the way to the end as a queen race. Which, me looking at this, I don't really see who's ahead here. But White's not really. Like the pieces that are covered are really just the D2 and E3 square. I mean, black's got the nice combination of going D2, F2, and then coming up to E3 to stop the race, like timing
Yeah, he
wise.
does. I mean, it's always good to have pawn on the third row in queen races because like
So,
Somet sometimes you can force this like f2 e3.
yeah, well, white only has, or I guess now he has an option. He can take b7, and then we capture back.
Wow, nice.
So he's still alive here, but this pawn has so far to go to promote. And it's kind of tricky to find a safe space for the queen to move.
So actually, I was thinking about something for white. I was going to say a4 first and then queen to f4.
Well, I think the queen here on in the B column is good because that's going to stop a king promotion, and now he's perfectly lined up to stop the rook promotion, and he can stop the bishop promotion. So I think he wins here.
Yeah, but what if there and now bishop promotion? I think white kind of messed that up.
Yeah, I think he wanted to push that pawn instead to prevent the bishop promotion.
All right.
So we take the draws. 4-2. That was an interesting game because I think Flo. I don't know. I don't know if Flo should have won that queen race or not, but I think SupWitches did a good job coming out of it. And then, if I looked at it right, it seemed like he could have won that endgame there.
Yeah, I think SupWitches was winning after the race.
All right, nice. F6, I love it. This looks like F4 opening to me. A little Towns paycheck action.
I mean, SupWitch is a madman. Like you're done 4-2 in World Championship semifinal, and you go for f6.
Yeah.
I'm just speechless there.
Well, Flo didn't prep this line, but the question is, does Flo already have it memorized, like from playing against Towns Paycheck?
And man, if one player has it memorized, it has to be Flo.
Yeah, no, agreed, for sure. So we got a comment in the chat asking who SupWitches is. Like, did he have a previous account? I'm not aware of him having another account. He's been a strong player around for a long time, but I think he just kind of took some time off from Antichess. Like, he kind of just was focusing on regular chess or other variants. I don't know. But he's back and crushing it, so.
Yeah, back in fashion with that S6 move.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, like I'm a big fan. Like I'm liking that. I like his creativity. He's got super strong like mid-game moves and tactics. Like he finds finds great moves. So like I'm a fan of watching his games.
Yeah, it's really really fun to watch.
Flo's done a good job this series staying up on time. Like I feel like he's had the time advantage most of this game, which I know SupWitches is a bullet player. Like he plays tons of fast games, but it's just hard playing against Flo's openings. They're so solid. You got to find a crack in them, and there's
Yeah.
never a crack anywhere.
Well, actually, I don't know. I just feel like playing like Hyper Bullet and playing like 2+5 is just like two different sports. Because like I played like in ACWC against like bullet players, and I had the time advantage. Although I'm like rather a slow guy, but
Okay.
they just like sometimes they just think things through, and they take like a minute for one move, or they're just not comfortable with the format.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I think you're right.
Like they don't necessarily blitz every single move, and end up like 30 moves.
Yeah, it is kind of like two different sports. Like the bullet players that can rely, that have like really good instincts and can play moves that can win most of the time based off of your opponent needs to move fast and they don't have time to respond. So you play mostly safe moves or complex ones that like they have to play a safe response instead of taking their time to solve the mate. So it kind of puts you in a different setup for sure. So
Yeah,
I
for sure.
I kind of wonder here like SupWitches is down the king, which is kind of the if you play f6 as black, you're gonna lose your king. But he has a maybe a material advantage here. Like I don't know if you want the two bishops and your doubled pawn. Like it's a weird setup for sure. But I would say like I feel like Towns Paycheck would play this kind of position and just do amazing with it. But then also Towns Paycheck was usually playing super fast time controls with it. Um,
I mean, just Towns Paycheck is also probably one of the most talented players ever.
yes, yes.
I mean, I mean, like who could just like say, all right, I'm just like bored of anti-chess. I'm just gonna play f4 because like
Yep.
it's too easy if they play like e3.
For a second there, I thought he could play this, but the queen's covering that pawn. Um, so he's going to push his f pawn and threaten to grab the knight, which I don't know if that's really a threat or not, but he's got 8 seconds, so he had to make a move. Yeah, and it looks like Flo's won every game as white so far. Which was that was how our last series was going for the most part too, where white kept winning.
Yeah, I think except for the first two games, White was winning every single moment.
Oof, yeah, he had to bring the queen out. He's running low on time. D5 is covered, but I don't know. Can you just
Just
move?
knight h5.
Yeah, knight h5 seems like just run that out of the way. You should have mate. And Flo's got a full minute to find that move too. So
Yep, and now just rook g1.
again, Flo with a full minute to make the move. I'd say just about any move here is safe.
Yeah, any move is safe, but you're never too cautious, so it's better to use the time.
All right, 5-2. Flo just needs to get a draw to move on.
Yeah, I mean, man, Sapu just has to win 3 games.
It can be done though. It can be done. And for our sake, I would love to see another Armageddon match.
I think good opening choice there. I think the bishop b5 is what gave Flo the most trouble.
Feels like he has to move his rook. Probably to f1. Or can he play d4? Is there any... I don't see anything coming out of that. That doesn't seem to... necessarily need to help. I don't know. Maybe dump
So
the
he
bishop, and
went
is
for
there
g4.
any a4 to grab the bishop from the other side? No, because then you have that g8 intermediate, so that would lose.
This thing is very sharp there for black.
Maybe g3 or e5.
Yeah, maybe g3.
And I don't know if this... I'm reading a comment maybe too late. Tugger was saying bishop to f5 was game, but that might have been before these last two moves happened. And also nice to see the actual Tugger commenting as opposed to the copycat account that was in. It was clearly had the game open and was saying the stockfish moves, which was annoying.
Okay, that was a fake Tugger. I mean, for me, Tugger is so good that I just thought like found every.
Right.
I just thought that he had the right moves, but my bad. Oh yeah, nice move by Flo there.
Um, I mean, kind of threatening b3, although I don't know if that doesn't win. But moving the bishop out of the way, kind of. So we push the e pawn. I mean, I think SupWitches is okay here. I mean,
Oh yeah, I think he is. I think
yeah.
he is. But I just think black is better.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, it's kind of been like the whole story of this match. Like SupWitches is okay, but Flo is better. Like
Yeah.
he's been quite dominant in this series.
I mean, he's been quite dominant for a couple years now. Tugger's being accused of impersonating himself. That's some next level trolling. Don't see the advantage to that, though. Go from respected member of community to person saying not so smart things. Does SupWitches have? No, this pawn's. Like if he maybe can get his king in closer. An extra move, although d5 coming soon, potentially like a. Kind of interesting position right here, and they're both down to their like 40 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, for once they're actually like even on time.
Yeah. And SupWitches is now threatening. Not anymore. That's a good move by Flo.
Just wow, the quality of his moves is
Yeah,
just
and
it's
so
insane.
SupWitches does a good job of just keeping his material and not ditching the pieces for no reason. But now, what do you see? Like the knight just.
Yeah, and for now, yeah, actually, I was about to say that I feel like he's actually a bit better now that he's greatly improved his position compared to what it was in the middle game.
So kind of to decide if he wants to just push the b pawn and block, which he does. So potentially he could set
Yeah,
up a capture chain. I think White's in a better position here.
yeah, I think so too. And they maybe move over the rook,
Well,
rook h1, threatening
threatening
a3.
c5 and then can grab the knight. He doesn't have a follow-on move after that though. H1's a good move because it keeps the king in that back file. Although, no, it doesn't because
No, it doesn't because you don't have the knight is on e2, not f2.
yeah. So Flo for the first time in the red first time. So we'll probably see these pawns traded off. But then you still have the d4 threat coming from black. I mean, he doesn't have to worry about this because that rook is covering it. Uh, both super low on time. Okay, good find there. Great job.
Wow, nice.
So good. All right, SupWitches stays alive for another game. 2 games away from Armageddon.
2 games away from Armageddon, but we need to remind that Flo has been perfect so far with
With
white
white.
pieces, 4 out of 4.
Yeah. All right, so SupWitches goes with e6. And this is if the queens come out, Flo's very familiar
I'd
with
say that
this race.
this is brave to play e6 against Flo.
Yeah.
Because he knows every single queen race that stems from this position.
Didn't it? I feel like Arun had a line against Flo that got to kind of a weird position that kind of it was a bizarre endgame that it felt like black should win, but it was like a long pawn endgame. I don't know.
I don't remember.
We're bringing the mamas out though.
They are out, as they have been out quite a lot
They
during
have
this
been.
series. Okay, so maybe queen takes c8 right there. Oh no, bishop first. Okay.
I mean, this is super complex. I mean, I think Flo has the advantage, but you're looking so many options for both players. Yeah, this
Oof.
this can't be good for SupWitches. And Flo took that knight so fast, like he knows, like he's got it counted out that there's one, two, three, four, five pieces left, and he's gonna just kill the three.
That's what I was saying. The
Yeah,
queen racing flow in e3 e6 is a bad idea, and as
yeah.
Ted Kish says, it's just his comfort zone.
So I think you can go b7, d7, f7, and
B7,
e6.
A7,
I guess the
maybe no
order
B7.
order doesn't matter. Yeah. So well, accomplishes the same thing. Like he's gonna stop on the e6. So and black can't capture the queen back because then there's white doesn't have anything to attack. So
Yeah, and just takes it. Yeah, B and H.
all right. Well, that was a good series. Um, nice job by Flo, and we're gonna get a rematch of last year's final of Flo versus Kex.
Yeah, yeah, that's very fun, and it's the first time since the new format that we have a rematch.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what the format changes were, but you had uh, Rima Cat and Ogle go back to back games. Their
Well,
first.
pretty much. Yeah, they had to go back to back because in 2019, Remacat, it was like in the classic chess world championship. So the defending champion just had to play the final.
Oh, really? Okay.
He just had to play one match, and the candidates was only four persons. So Ogu had to win three matches in the candidates, and then a rematch against the Remacat. So pretty much, for example, it would just be like if Flo was already in the final, and the candidates were battling out for who's going to face Flo.
Yeah. Okay.
So Flo's job as a defending champion has been much harder than what
Agreed.
Zermekets
Yeah.
was.
Agreed. I like this format better. It forces the players to kind of prove themselves over again.
Oh yeah, and I mean compared to classical chess, like the final is just like 2 3 weeks while they played hours and hours. I mean, this is just yeah different. I mean, I think you need to play many players to be like the best, and because I don't feel like it's just like in classical chess when there's just like one player that's just so far above everybody else. Like we have plenty of good players, so to be the champion, in my opinion, you have to beat all the good players.
Yeah. All right. I do not know. Is the final going to be next week, or do they get another week break? Felt like
Oh,
it
I
might
think it's gonna be next week.
be next week. So we'll have two more matches. We'll have a third place game of SupWitches versus Devanch, and then the final of Kex versus Change Opening. So hopefully we'll see everybody sometime next week. Seems like Sundays are the preferred day for matches, so hopefully that works for everybody.
All right, so maybe see you Sunday, maybe Saturday, but see you very soon, and we can't wait for this rematch.